It's going to be a lot different. Preseason will have a brand new look as far as what we can do, but we're gonna take it slowly. We're gonna take it cautiously. We want to make sure that we have set in place the proper social distancing practices, even for training, until we get a good grasp on whether our players are symptomatic or not symptomatic. And once we feel comfortable and the school feels comfortable moving forward a little quicker, then we'll kind of move into our next phases. But a lot of that is outside of our control. In fact, almost all of it. So as long as we take care of ourselves and try to keep our team healthy, we still are at the whim of the college, of the community. And so, we go with how they go. So for preseason, those are the things that are really going to track what we do. Well, I think not having a spring had a direct effect on the development of some certain players that we needed to get that experience to possibly move into a starting role or an opportunity to play some more. We also understand that at the same time, every other team in the United States is in that same situation. So we don't feel like we're behind whatsoever. I think in some capacity we may be ahead. Just because we do return so much experience, especially defensively, that we don't necessarily need spring for extra development because our system is set in place and we're very comfortable and confident with the group that we have coming back. Well, obviously we were very blessed to have Keely Bitsis for 4 years in goal. The first All-American in our program's history, holds almost every record that we have goalkeeping-wise at the college. And on top of that, great kid, A.O. Dewar Award winner for basically being the best student athlete in the nation for all females for NAIA. Behind her for 3 of those years, was a young lady named Courtney Krogan. And Courtney's development has come very quickly behind Keely, to the point where, honestly, I feel like Courtney would probably start on almost every other team in our conference. And she's got that ability as a goalkeeper now that she's been with us for 3 years and has been developed. So we're very confident with her goalkeeping ability. We're confident with her leadership ability. We think right now that in front of her is probably one of the better defenses that we've put out on the field in quite a long time. We have 4 seniors that have started a lot of games over their 4 years, and on top of that, another player that'll be a sophomore that'll be mixing in with that defensive group. So it even gives us 1+ player to mix in. So, yeah, I like what we have back there. I'm confident. Courtney played in a few games last year for us and did very well. Had some learning experiences, which we think will help her and something that she can value and use this year. The way we communicated everything with our players was, if you're not comfortable coming back, then don't. We want you to be safe. We want your family to have peace of mind. And the situation with who's going to be playing in the fall is a coach's, problem or a coach's solution. Either one, they have to be able to figure that out. So for us, it was no different. And this could happen in any sense, right? Someone could get hurt. Someone could decide not to come back. Someone could get sick. And you got to move on as a team. So it's not something that I don't deal with every day or every game or every practice even. So for us, we did honestly expect probably our 2 Spanish players to get some playing time, if not start at the forward position. For us, replacing those players or having players come in and be ready, that's going to be, we have about 2 or 3 players returning that competed for those spots last year that will have to just be ready to go this year. And then on top of that, we're probably bringing in a couple freshmen that we think could probably compete for those spots as well. And I'm okay playing freshmen because the development will help them throughout their career. Well, I think that the big thing that we're going to rely on for this upcoming season is our defense, as I've stated many times. We have Julianne Baltimore, Micah Bangy, Crystal Diaz, and Kendall Pritchett, who are all seniors and have all been with the program 4 years and have all been starting games for a while now. So we're completely confident in our backfield. Rachel Jacobellis will be a sophomore, and she worked into a starting role by the end of last year. So for us, we're very comfortable there. And then the midfield will be pretty strong. We returned Sailor Draw and Jody Ellis in the midfield, both really good players. Jody being an all-conference player on track right now to maybe break the school assist record, which is something looking at that record, I thought, I don't know if that could ever be done, and she's on her way. And then Kirsten Janin, as a forward for us, led our team in goals as a freshman and has a ceiling that's outstanding. So we have a lot of high expectations for our team right up the middle of the field, and then we can fill in the rest and really, do some damage, I think. A couple forwards that I talked about. One is Sierra Schlemmer. She's from Troy Triad. We really think that she can come in and get immediate playing time. And then Bella Ronda from California is someone that we think could really help us, especially with that forward position, as we said, the one that's kind of open for competition. So, but other than that, we have a good class. I'm very excited. We have a good geography mix as usual for us. We got a few players from Texas, and we hadn't recruited in that state for a little while. So I was really happy to see that connection kind of come back to life, and had a nice junior college transfer from Fullerton in Mia Bannon. So I think that what we put together is a well-rounded class to help us really move into the season. There's no waiting around, and that's what makes preseason difficult. We're going to start out our training sessions with spacing, right, with social distancing. And at some point along the way, we really have to implement our style of play. And as I said, we're lucky that we have so many players coming back that started games for us. And so when you're looking at 8 players that were starting games at the end of the season, you don't have to do as much teaching, but that's still an important part. So we're going to hit the ground running for conference, and I'm okay with that. We learn on the fly. Our team has been very adaptable to whatever situations that we've had to be in. We had, I don't know if it was last season or the season. Yeah, last season, I know for a fact we came in later than every other team in conference. We had the latest start on the calendar as far as when our school allowed us to check in, and I think we were 8-1 at one point, or 7-1-1. So we adapted, and this is how you do it at the college level. There's a lot of things that we always have to adapt. This is no different. I think we'll be ready. I think our kids have just been conditioned to be ready. Well, it was weird. We were 12 seconds away from being in the playoffs for 6 straight years. So, when you kind of measure it like that, it's probably taking care of the smaller things and realizing the smaller moments in games have bigger impacts on the grand scheme of things. I think we're definitely talented enough to be in the playoffs. I think the way that we sit in conference, that we could be there every year. So it's not just one thing that I'm going to say like, hey, this is your magic trick to make the playoffs. It's for us. It is those small things. It's not giving up a goal that late in the game, or realizing a mid-season conference game has bigger implications than what you might be thinking of for that 90 minutes. But then again, in the same sense, you don't want to put the pressure on those kids in that moment. You have to win that game, and then we'll worry about what happens at the end of the season. So we set ourselves up to be in the conference playoffs last year. It bounced around from us otherwise, but I think we have everything it takes to be there again for sure.